Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Beekeeper Tarot. My name is Alan. It's daylight. How are we all? Surviving and surviving and surviving. Yeah, so before I go on any further, thank you so much for your likes and your subscriptions and your very, very kind comments. I really do appreciate it, guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate it. So yeah, I had a day off yesterday which was doing domestics. I was going to come on, but I had a lot of washing and domestics to do, and my roster came through for next week, and they put me on working 7 days. I said no, no. So my boss fixed it. I have a day off next week. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, whoever. They will try. Anyway, what I wanted to do today was talk a little bit about bees. So, I might even try and get a video up of them again before I go to work if I get the chance, but we'll see how that goes. But so the bees are going really well. They are bringing in a lot of pollen. And so somebody asked me on the channel, and I apologize, I didn't look I've forgotten who it was, but I've forgotten your name, so I do apologize for that humbly. But the question was, what type of honey do the bees make? And that's a really good question. So basically, um, the type of honey that you get depends on what's blooming, right? So say for example, if you had, I don't know, you probably have heard of Manuka honey. So that's from a Manuka tree, right? So where I live, there's a lot of Vietnamese people around, which is great. So they grow all their Vietnamese vegetables. So um, I did have a hive at my housemate's mother's place about a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, got knocked out by a varroa, which is what happened to my hive as well. But anyway, so the honey from her hive or the hive at her place was different to the honey at my place. And so what you'll see, just for interest, when you get the frames right, when you spin down and harvest the frames, and when I harvest, I will show you that process. Hopefully, in a few months' time, we can do some harvesting together. That'll be fun. Um, so once you take off the wax, you'll see that the honey is all there in the frames. And sometimes you might get a patch of like really dark honey or really light honey. So that depends. So I can tell by looking at that frame, oh, okay, the bees have been focusing on this flower or this flower. So basically, you could say that the honey is called the term for it is called a mixed bloom. Yeah, because there's lots of different types of flowers that the honey, sorry, that the bees are getting the pollen from. And so when I go to look at my hive, I'll see orange pollen, I'll see sometimes a red pollen, all different colors of pollen, like different shades of orange and red and things like that. Sometimes even a white pollen will be coming into the hive. So that's all the pollen that they've been getting from the flowers to help make the honey. And I'll explain the honey making process some other time. So, because my bees are doing so well, I'm going to need to have to add another layer on top. We're going to have to build up the condo. So, what's happening right now is I've only got the one box on the bottom, right? And so Queen Lena's in there. Hi, Lena. She's doing all her stuff, laying all her eggs, doing a fabulous job because there's like bees coming out of my arsehole. There's bees everywhere. There's bees everywhere. So what that means is that they're going to need a bit more room. Now, as a beekeeper, and I'm sorry to do this to you, Lena, but I'm going to have to banish you to the to the ground floor, love. I'm so sorry. So why I'm going to do that? So what I'll do is, as he knocks it over, okay. So this thing here is called a Queen Excluder. And so what now? I need to clean it. So all this stuff here as well, this is called propolis. And it's like liquid cement. And so whenever you go into your beehive, you're going to need a hive tool, which is a hive tool I've got here. Got a nice pink one. Matches my lovely pink eyes. My eyes aren't pink. I think they're brown. Anyway, so what you do is the hive tool, you need to crack open if you ever need to get into your hive, like even to get to the lid. you're going to need to use the hive tool because you got to break through the propolis. It's liquid cement. It's like, my God, how do they do it? How do they do it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hive tool. I'm going to clean all this up with a hive tool, and I'll probably soak it in warm or boiling water. So I do not want to use chemicals, even though I could probably use chemicals and get rid of this stuff pretty quickly. No, no, I don't want to hurt my bees with chemicals. So what the Queen Excluder does, okay, so what this does for Queen Lena, Queen Lena can't get through this, right? Because she's got a big ass. No, she does. The queen bees have got like a large abdomen, and they need that large elongated abdomen to get into lay the eggs, right? So that's what they do. So the queen bee is quite large compared to the other bees. So the workers can get through here. So what that means is that I've got a box on the bottom. The queen excluder goes on that, and then I'll put another box on top. So the box on top, which will be the first story, is going to have frames and everything else. And because Lena's I've banished Lena to the basement. Lena can't get through here, right? So that means that all the nursery, that's all going to be on the ground floor, and all this is going to be honey, 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 honey. That's how it works. So a lot of people, some people don't use Queen excluders. I like to use them. So that way, what that means is that when I'm going to harvest in a few months' time, I can I can take from the box above the Queen excluder, and I know that everything there is going to be honey because Lena can't get through to lay eggs up here. So I'm sorry, Lena. You know how much I love you, but I'm sorry. So that's that. Um, so yeah, so this is the hive tool, and so this is the Australian design. The American one has it's kind of more rounded like that. I don't know why. Just going to turn off my alarm. Yes, I'm awake. The American one has a more of an elongated thing at that side, and I believe that the other side is flat from memory. But that's the hive tool, and this is, if you're a beekeeper, this really, really, really does. You can't do beekeeping without this. Another tool that is good to have is this little thing, and I know it looks like some kind of like medieval torture thing, but this is really good for picking up frames. So say, for example, if I've got frames that I need to move really quickly, and sometimes it's hard to get underneath them with your hands because you've got bees and your gloves on, put one of these on and you can just move your frames. So this comes in very, very handy and also good for harvesting. So you're just going to pick them up. I put them into like a little esky thing, and then I can take the wax off, and you'll see that process when I get around to it. Now, the other thing which I want to show you is this little stuff. Now, so there's lots of diseases, unfortunately, that the bees have to deal with. Varroa is the really nasty one, and it's only been in Australia for about maybe 2 or 3 years. So it's what knocked out my hive last year, unfortunately. And it was it came in via Newcastle, which is a port probably about, I think Newcastle's about 150 k's, something like that, north of Sydney, and it's slowly working its way down. So I think now it's in Victoria, and yeah, so I'll go into Varroa some other time because that's a long and nasty story, but I will need to talk about it at some time. But what this is so there's a thing called hive beetle, and they get into the hive. And so what you do to get rid of the hive beetle is you put a bit of oil. So this is like a little cylinder, little container, right? Little plastic sort of whatever you want to call it, latch thing. So these the hive beetle, that they're really, really tiny. They're really tiny, and they're just a real pain in the butt. So what you do is you put a bit of oil in the bottom of this, and what the bees will do, the bees will go, ha ha! They'll herd they'll herd the hive beetle into here, and they'll just literally just drown in the oil. You can use diatomaceous earth or builder's lime, which I have used in the past, but that's like a real fine powder thing. This is just easier to use, and I kind of think this is less toxic in the hive as well. So, because the idea is you're trying not to, you really want to try and avoid as much chemicals in the hive as what you can, is what you need to do. So, unfortunately, now with Varroa, um, we have to treat it for it every now and then, and I will do that later, but I'm not going to do it now because they're just powering right now. And if I treat now, it kind of really interferes with honey making and stuff like that. So I will risk it and I will check for Varroa and I'll probably in a few months' time and I will do all that then. So yeah. So that's just a little bit about the bees. And I'll try and film it when I do this if I can. I'll see how I go. And I'll try and do this fairly soon. So what I will have to do is get another box, which I've got. And if I've got 8 frames that are clean and ready to go, which I should have 8 frames, if not, I'll buy some and just get some fresh frames. I'll put that into the box. So Queen Excluder, Lena, I'm sorry, love, you're down the bottom. Sorry. Queen Excluder, another box, and now we'll just fill that with honey. And then if I need to do any more, if that gets filled up, I can just go another layer. And so that's what you harvest from, right? That's what you harvest from. So I would tend not to do anything from the lower box because that's their honey, right? That's their nursery. And even if doing that, if there are a lot of bees, I will definitely leave a few frames for them so they've got plenty of food. So when I'm harvesting, I'm not going to take away all their food. So because I love them, I want them to eat. Because literally, when you take harvest, it's like if you just imagine, right, if you are, I don't know, say you're Italian, right? And your mum, your nana, your no, your great nana passed down the recipe for the pasta sauce or the tomato sauce or the tomato paste, right? It's a recipe that's been handed down for generations to generations, and it's a secret, right? It's a secret family recipe. And your mum makes it or you make it because you got the recipe from 3 or 4 generations back, and it sits in the cupboard, and it's the good stuff, and it's the stuff you only get at when you've got family friends coming over, and it's the really, really, really good stuff. That is what the honey is to them. So it's the good stuff. So you want to make sure that you've got plenty of honey left for your bees. Anyway, that's about it. I'm about to do the dishes. Keeps it happy. A clean kitchen is a happy Sid, is a peaceful Alan. I will be back. If I keep the kitchen clean, I won't be found unalived. I'm only joking, YouTube. All right, folks. I'll see you soon. A quick hi for today. I will try and get on and do some tarot readings soon. There's lots going on, I know, but I'm just having a break today. All right. Love you to bits. Have a great day. And we'll keep talking about the beast and have a break from all this rubbish as well. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, bye for now. Bye. And he's gone.